Hello everyone, this is going to be my Look OLL tutorial. So after you've completed F2L, if you don't know how to do F2L, you should check out my video, but after you've completed that, you'll have one of 57 cases on the top layer to get the whole top side completed. Here's an example. Let's say I've just completed F2L and I run into this case. Here I would do a certain algorithm to solve the top layer. Now you can reduce the number of cases from 57 to 7 in something called Look OLL. This is basically 2 steps or 2 looks. So what happens first in Look OLL is you solve the top cross, and with the top crossed you can only have 7 cases in which the corners are oriented. So let's begin. This is the first case. This case is called soon. Now here we can see that we have one top color oriented, one facing a corner facing us to the right and away from us. So hold it so that the corner is in the bottom left, the oriented corner, and hold the corner that is facing us in the bottom right. And here's the algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Here's our next case. This is basically the opposite of the soon. You could tell this case because if you hold the corner in the bottom left like the soon, there's not going to be an oriented color or a color right here. So you immediately go to this side. Now for this case, the anti-soon, you hold the corner in the bottom right with the corner facing you on the bottom left, and you do this algorithm. L prime, U prime, L, U prime, L prime, U2, L. This case is our next case with 2 corners oriented correctly. Here we can see that one corner is facing this way and this is another corner is facing this way. This case is called the diagonals because it's diagonal like that. So hold it so that one corner is facing right and one corner is facing towards you, and do this algorithm. R prime, F, R, B prime, R prime, F prime, R, B. Now this case and the next case are quite similar, so pay attention. Here we have 2 corners oriented like this as opposed to diagonals like this. And note that you can never have 3 corners oriented because that's an impossible case, and you should fix your cube. And we see that we have opposite corners here. So hold the cube so that one opposite corner is on the lower right and you have the oriented corners on the left. And do this algorithm. Small L prime, U prime, L, U, R, U prime, small R prime, F. It leaves you with facing the white side, and you could just do a cube rotation to bring the yellow on top. Here we have our next case. 2 corners oriented correctly, and we see that we have headlights on one side. So hold the cube so that the headlights are facing you and the corners are oriented in the back, and do this algorithm. R2, D, R prime, U2, R, D prime, R prime, U2, R prime. Here we have our next case with no corners oriented correctly. On one side we have headlights, and on the other side we have opposite corners. So hold the headlights on the left and hold one of the opposite corners facing you on the right. And do this algorithm. R, U2, R2, U prime, R2, U prime, R2, U2, R. Now we have our last and final case, with no corners oriented correctly, but headlights on both sides. This is a very simple case. Just hold it with one pair of headlights facing you, and the other pair facing back. And just do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, times 3, and F prime. And there you go. Now some of you may have noticed that I got new CubeSmith tiles on here, but I forgot to put on the logo because it wasn't with me when I was tiling my cube. And this tutorial will be followed up by a Look PLL tutorial, which is the next step after OLL. And I'll give you guys a website where I got the algorithms from. It's it'll be in the description. So thanks for watching, and comment, rate, and subscribe.